Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another segment of the Sports Arena. My name is Ruth the Truth Kagias. Tonight, I have joining me Eric Wilson, the main producer of Sports Arena. Eric, tell me how you are doing. I know we have a heavy heart. It's been a tough year, not even a month, a tough year. We've had a lot of unfortunate events. Tell me how you are still hanging on.
You know what? This is first off, good evening to you, Ruth, and thank you so much. Let me just say, it means a lot to have you on the show, and I really appreciate you. How I'm feeling is, as someone told me a long time ago, you mourn for a moment, but you remember for a lifetime, and that's just what I've been doing. With all the losses that we have had, just you're right, in 2020. I'm ready to push the fast forward button and get to 2021. But you know what? We got to deal with what we got to deal with. But, in honor of probably, in my opinion, one of the great basketball coaches, college basketball coaches, I got suited and booted tonight in memory of Mr. John Thompson, Coach John Thompson. So,
Thank you
but
so
I'm
much for
good.
joining
I'm
the
good.
show.
Yes.
I
How are
appreciate
you?
you being here. I'm doing all right. We are all here to focus on the main thing of the sports world. I also have Alex Fleming joining us. Turf Talk, Saturday morning. Alex, tell me how you are feeling tonight.
I haven't done a turf talk in 2 weeks. I'm actually well rested. I'm a little bit bothered by everybody that's leaving us. Chadwick Boseman, Friday morning, Saturday, and now John Thompson. Bro, 2020 has just been damn.
I know it's been a hell of a year losing Kobe at the end of the year, and all these players and important people that have been a part of our not only sports life but our main life in particular. Eric Wilson, I would like to start with you with the death of John Thompson. Please tell me what you have felt and what you have experienced through his lifetime as a coach.
You know, I have had the privilege of actually watching him coach. Now, do I remember it? No. But in his 27 years as coach of Georgetown, showing my age, of course, I was around, and I got to kind of see that, and to see someone, as Alex and I will always say, who looks like me on such a grand stage. It speaks volumes. I can tell you, my first sport, my love of sports was basketball, and it was because of John Thompson, because of the way he carried himself, because of the way that he educated his athletes both on and off the field, and the way he represented the black community. You wanted to play for Coach Thompson. You know what I mean? Because he understood what you went through in life because he went through it. And so for it's very, very surreal for me. He produced, in my opinion, two great players. He did produce a lot more. Let me just say this, but in my heart, the two that I will always remember, first and foremost, being AI, Allen Iverson, who has continually said John Thompson saved his life. And then, secondly, my all-time favorite player of all time, Patrick Ewing. I followed Ewing from Georgetown to the Knicks. Ewing is the reason why I was a Knicks fan in the 90s. Sorry, Jordan. I was, you know what I'm saying? That's who I was. But I mean, the list goes on and on and on. That man just embodied class personified. And the one man that I will probably say that when I look at a John Thompson and say, is there someone on that same level? It's another man who passed, John Saunders, who I've had the privilege of meeting him while he was at ESPN. When you are in the midst of greatness, you recognize it. And
Absolutely.
and those two men, just head and shoulders what it means to set yourself apart from everybody else by simply doing what's right. I this is a hard one for me. We spoke about I almost said T'Challa, but Chadwick Boseman. I mean, his story is something that we could go on and on about. But yeah, I could not let tonight go by and not pay homage to a great man.
Thank you, Eric, for giving your opinion on that. Alex, I want to take it to you. How do you feel and where are you coming from with this week's tragic events of losing such a great impact on not only the basketball world, but the acting world with Chaz Boseman, as well as the coach of John Thompson? Please tell me what you're feeling right now.
I'm all right because 2020 makes you numb. Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, other roles as well. He played Thurgood Marshall. I remember before I took a chance on myself when I was slaving, if you will, in these restaurants where people don't give a damn about you. I actually got to see a superhero that kind of looked like me. We weren't playing secondary. We weren't Falcon to Captain America. We weren't playing, Tito to Michael Jackson. He was the hero. He was the protagonist, and it was an excellent storyline, especially with Killmonger. Gave inspiration to a lot of people. People didn't know that he was fighting a battle off the screen, getting made fun of, saying you look sickly. Well, he was fighting cancer. And it's a shame because he kept it to himself. That's a fight he didn't have to do by himself, but he did.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
John Thompson on Monday, you wake up Monday morning, it's like, damn, it's already been a hell of a week. John Thompson was the first African-American coach to win the NCAA tournament. Hoya Paranoia, that sound familiar to you? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
He coined that phrase. He won 2 championships with the Boston Celtics. He's got the highest winning percentage of any Georgetown coach. Alonzo Mourning said that Coach Thompson saved his life. I don't forget about Mourning because he would get into battles with that overpaid athlete you talk about in the name of Patrick Ewing. Sorry, I'm from Chicago. No love lost there. AI, he's produced multiple winning teams, and he's always held himself with class. You know how you lived a good life? No one said anything bad about you.
Right. With all the
That's what I think about Thompson.
With all the people that we have lost this week, Eric, I want to know the importance of the impact that it has done to the NBA, not only the NBA, but the other leagues that have been impacted by the loss of these people.
Oh, it speaks volumes to see everybody on social media. Again, Chadwick Boseman, another man who you did not hear a bad word about. And to Alex's point, he fought colon cancer for 4 years.
And
The
silent.
man did in excess of probably 9 movies in that 4-year time span, from Captain America Civil War to Black Panther to Avengers Infinity War to Avengers Endgame to James Brown to Marshall to 42, 21 Bridges.
Countless.
He put so much into every single role that he did, and he gave so much of himself. I've been watching over and over again the children in hospitals that he would go visit and speak to, and just, he was another man. And then John Thompson, the one thing that we said before coming on the show that Alex brought up, 97% of his athletes graduated. Let that resonate for a moment. 97% of anyone who played for Coach Thompson graduated. You know what that means? That means basketball may have been your love and that may have been your dream, but you had a backup plan if that did not work or if there was an injury. And John Thompson instilled that in all of his people. We are truly losing some historic icons in 2020. And I'm telling you, like I said to you earlier, I'm ready to fast forward to 2021 because I don't know how much more of this I can take. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all.
Exactly.
But John Thompson, amazing man, A+ in all categories. And again, same with Chadwick Boseman.
So, we keep our prayers to the family that's involved. Alex, I would like to know your final thoughts.
Let's keep it moving. Let's talk sports.
Let's keep it moving, as Alex said. So we're going to move on to the NFL. So we had some crazy news going on today. So Leonard Fournette has left the Jags. Alex, what is their next move, and where do you see Fournette keeping it?
Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette.
Where do we see we keeping his running back career going?
Okay, first and foremost, Leonard Fournette was, I believe, the 4th pick in the 2017 draft. I remember it well because I remember him stomping a mud hole in Pittsburgh not once but twice his rookie year. With that horrible quarterback now stuck in LA by the name of Blake Bortles, they were about 6 minutes away from beating the Patriots and going to the Super Bowl. Now, they probably lose to Philadelphia. I'll give Philly the benefit of the doubt.
Thanks,
but
Alex.
Point being, that was a pretty good squad. Now, look at 2020. Ramsey's not there. Church isn't there. Colvin isn't there. One homeboy got busted with a minor. He's not there. Calais Campbell's now in Baltimore. Yannick Ngakoue just got traded to Minnesota for next to nothing, the 5th round pick. And then your leading rusher, who amassed 1,674 yards from scrimmage and only 3 touchdowns last year, is now on the chopping block because apparently you couldn't find a trade partner for him. Now, look, Kalen Ballage failed his physical, but he would have went to the Jets from Miami for some odd reason. Adam Gase. Point being, even he was worth a 7th. So you're telling me Jacksonville couldn't get a 5th or a 4th round pick for Leonard Fournette? I desperately think that Jacksonville is looking for some sunshine.
Eric, I got
Trevor Lawrence, Clemson, sunshine.
Tell me, what is your perspective on the moves of the Jacksonville Jaguars and where they're trying to go on the running game?
So, okay, let me first speak to Leonard Fournette, and I'll kind of answer Alex's reasoning as to why this happened. If you look at what Leonard Fournette did in 2017, which Alex has already laid out for you, look at his production after that. Now, aside from his production, look at his ability to be a team player. That, I think, is where the problem is. The tape is out on Leonard Fournette. Hell of a running back, not a good team player. He might be somewhat coachable, but at the end of the day, he kind of wants to do his own damn thing and doesn't care what anybody thinks, says, or feels about him. Well, this is a league where you have to get along with 52 other people, not to mention the coaching staff and the organization. So if you become a troublemaker, or if you become someone who is hard to deal with, well, they're going to put up with you for so long. Because as we know, winning is the deodorant. Winning cures any type of off-field altercations, interactions, or whatever. As long as we're winning, hey, we can kind of sweep it under the rug and justify what's going on in your personal life. Jacksonville was only relevant in 2017 when they went to the AFC Championship game, and as Alex said, we're 6 minutes away. After that, Leonard Fournette got too big for his britches. Right. So what happened? Jacksonville was like, okay, this is how you gonna be? You don't care about us. Why should we care about you? We don't want you. Hold up. We don't want you. We don't need you. So don't let the good Lord hit you where he split you. See ya.
Alex, I'm going to bring it back to you. What are your final thoughts about?
I have a little bit of a different take. You see, that's old man speak over there. Let me tell you how it really is. Once you get rid of your secondary and then you get rid of your defensive line between Calais Campbell and Ngakoue for next to nothing, you're in rebuild mode. You were the only team thinking about moving to London. You finished last in the AFC South 5 of the last 6 years. The one year you didn't was the year you went to the AFC Championship game. Ramsey is a Ram, bro. Do you have a big name wide receiver? That's right. He's in Chicago. You let go of Mr. Robinson. If you want to count DJ Shark, if you want to count DJ Shark, he's all right, but he's up and coming. D.D. Westbrook hasn't come through on the clutch. Your offensive line has been rebuilt. I told y'all about this last year when they fixed the offensive line. And your brand new tight end, Josh Oliver, just got hurt. That's why you had to pick up Tyler Eifert, who's been on and off the injury list for all of his career. You have no viable running game. Raquel Armstead was your backup before you got rid of Fournette, so now he's the starter. You might win 3 games. You want to make sure that you're able to get that sunshine so you can let go of Gardner Minshew or trade him away or keep him as a backup and start winning games and putting butts in seats. Because as a front office and organization, this was just straight dumb. You let go of your entire defense for next to nothing.
Eric, I got to know your final thoughts on this before we move on.
Okay, so let me just say this to all of Mr. Fleming's points with regard to Leonard Fournette and the Jacksonville organization. My brother, you and Ruth both live closer to them than I do, and I guarantee you this. There are still going to be butts in seats no matter who's playing. Why? Because they got that nice little pool area, which people love to go to and hang out on a Sunday. Now, I don't know what's going to happen this season because of the pandemic, but they're still putting butts in seats. So regardless, Jacksonville is going to be fine from that aspect. Do they have a solid team in place? No. But the fact that you're already throwing Gardner Minshew back into the backup role where he has proven that at times he can be a serviceable and viable quarterback to you, I'm saying if you want to go looking for, as you so eloquently put, sunshine on a cloudy day, you're only going to get rain. And as you and I both know, and I'm sure Ruth can attest to this as well, in order to get to the rainbow, you got to go through the mud. So if this is Jacksonville's rebuilding phase, fine, great, fantastic. But do not put all your eggs in one basket just to go get sunshine. That's what I'm saying to you.
Absolutely.
For those who don't know, Sunshine is Trevor Lawrence of Clemson.
Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson, yes.
Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson going to the Jacksonville Jaguars is that what you guys are saying?
That's what Alex is saying.
Okay,
look, last year I said that Miami was tanking for Tua. Look what happened. Well, I'm saying last year I said Miami was tanking for Tua. Where's Tua now? Where's Tua? Eric, where's Tua?
He's in Miami.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's in Miami. Jacksonville is looking for some sunshine. You heard it here first.
I got a quick question, though. With Tua being in Miami, does Fitz Magic have a chance starting over Tua? And how is that going to affect the Dolphins? Eric, I'm going to you first.
Oh, okay. I was going to sit back and let Alex.
Fitz Magic. Let me know what you're feeling, because I know everybody saw the video on Twitter with Fitz Magic in the scrimmage throwing some Patrick Mahomes type playing. Does that have any effect on who is going to start for the season for the Miami Dolphins? Eric,
let me say this to you. So the gentleman that ended the season last year for the Miami Dolphins at the quarterback position, he beat the GOAT week 17. He beat the GOAT week 17. And a game that meant nothing to the Miami Dolphins, but meant a lot. Yes, meant everything to New England. So that being said, Mr. Fleming, as you stare off into space, sir, I see you over there. My point to you is Ryan Fitzpatrick. I won't call him Fitzmagic or Fitztragic. Fitzpatrick, which is his legal last name. He will be the starter because Tua Tagovailoa needs time to be properly introduced into the NFL. If you throw him to the Wolves this season with no OTAs, no training camp, and no preseason, Tua Tagovailoa will be a bust if you put him in this season to start the season. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the veteran, the man with the beard, the guy who at times can look like an all-star, albeit at times can also look like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. He has the ability right now to come in, given this unique circumstance of how this season is going to play out, and be serviceable, viable, and get the Dolphins some wins this year.
Alex from Turf Talk, I want to swing it to you. What is the future of the Miami Dolphins?
I'm a little bit less long-winded than E over here. I'm going to keep it nice and simple. Tua needs time for the playbook. They need to fix the offensive line. They're not ready for that smoking Buffalo. Point blank, period. They're not ready yet. They need to fix the right side of the offensive line because they fixed the left. Now, The defense is almost there. Picking up Kyle Van Noy from New England helps. Fixing that secondary with Xavier Howard and Byron Jones helps. They're not ready. Next year, Tua starts. Tua's only going to come in this year if Fitztragic gets hurt. Right now, it's Fitz's show. Tua next year. I've been telling people since the beginning of last year, I expect nothing from the Miami Dolphins this year. Next year, different story.
It might just be a problem. On that note, everybody, we are going to take it to a short break. Please join us back on the Sports Arena with Eric Wilson and Alex Fleming and Ruth the Truth.
Wait till you guys eat this.
Wow.
Give me some of that. That's what I'm talking about.
What?
For over 100 years, the story has been written, ever changing and growing with each new chapter. The soul remains, though the characters change. Bigger, faster, stronger, smarter.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
So too grows our fandom. Start miles ahead. The 2020 Prospect Encyclopedia. September. Available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Blitzalytics.com.
Welcome back to the Sports Arena. My name is Ruth the Truth. Please find me on Twitter with 4 H's at the end. I am joined with Eric Wilson, the main sponsor of Sports Arena, and Alex Fleming with Turf Talk. Welcome back, gentlemen. I want to know your intake on the NBA Finals with Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks being closed out by the LA Clippers. Please, Eric Wilson, give me your take on how that game ended and what it made of impact if Kristaps Porzingis was back in the lineup.
You know what? I'm going to do like pressure luck, and I'm going to slide this one over to my brother, Mr. Fleming, because he has been on the Luka Doncic bandwagon since he first had the opportunity to meet him and actually speak to him. So here is what I will say in answer to your question. I'll keep it short. It wouldn't have mattered if Porzingis played or not. The Clippers would have still been successful.
In Game 7, or you think it would have closed out and as early as it did?
I think it would have closed out as early as it did.
Alex Fleming, I'm going to swing it to you.
Let's be completely honest. It took Luka a Herculean effort in Game 4 to tie the series 2-2. Now, look, no one's been on the Luka train more than me. I told Mark Moses after his rookie year, I'd rather have Luka Doncic than Trae Young or Mo Bamba. I told Chris Pirtle, Luka's special. You can't put him in a category. And by the way, he's not from America. He's from Europe. So that whole thing with Montrezl Harrell, not trying to hear it. With that being said, it didn't mean a damn thing whether or not Porzingis played or not. Did you see the results in Game 5 when the Clippers hung 154 points on them boys? They were upset and they were pissed, and they realized in the future they got a problem known as Luka to deal with. Once Luka gets some help, because there's going to be a lot of free agents that want to play for this international team in Dallas, Luka's going to be a very bad man. And you know what? Quote me. I'm saying this, quote me. At the age of 21, Luka's done more than LeBron James has. Luka's the baby goat and the new face of the NBA. I didn't stutter.
The baby goat. I love to hear that because Luka Doncic has made such an impact in the NBA at such a young age. Eric, I'm going to swing it to you. What do you think the impact of Luka Doncic has done to the NBA with his first shot at the NBA?
You know, it's one of those things where when your opportunity or your number is called, how you handle adaptation and how you handle evolution are two things that Luka Doncic has done very well. So to everything that Mr. Fleming said, I cannot disagree, because seeing this young man in action, I know he is eventually going to be the face and the future of the NBA. What I hope is that, and I know Mark Cuban to be a very smart businessman, but what I hope the coaching staff of the Dallas Mavericks does is they intricate pieces into this to really form a team that is going to be, we are going to be talking about the Dallas Mavericks next year, the year after that, the year after that. I want this young man's career to flourish in the NBA. Do I want him on my team? Yes, right now I would take him because we know what he's capable of. But the pieces have to be around him. And just as Alex said, he did everything within his power and then some. He took a page out of Rest in Peace Kobe's book and said, okay, it's on my shoulders tonight, so let me do what I know I'm capable of doing. But he has to have the right complementary pieces to be a viable team and to be a threat, especially when you in that Western Conference, knowing that LeBron's at the Lakers, that Kawhi's at the Clippers, that Golden State is coming back. You have an up and coming, yes, I'm saying it right now, and you can quote me, an up and coming Phoenix Suns team. People get ready. They coming back for you. Okay, New Orleans, if they could find a way to get out of their own way and let Zion be Zion, they're going to be a formidable team. So Dallas, I want Dallas to be something special. I want them to be great. But if the pieces aren't around, it's going to be all on Luka's shoulders.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I'm sorry to bring things off a topic of what we were going to speak of tonight, but Alex, I'm going to swing it to you. The Jamal Murray scoring 50 points. What do you think of this series and what is going to come of it? And how did you take this stand that Jamal Murray had with the Black Lives Matter movement? Speak on it, Alex. I want to hear it.
All right, let me be real. On Brian Snow in the morning, Brian Snow show's based out of North Carolina, but we talk basketball. This is the only pick that I might get wrong, because right now I'm 7 for 8 when it comes to picks in the first round in the NBA. Utah's making me sweat. With that being said, Jamal Murray has done only what Michael Jordan has done. 50 points, 5, 5, and 5. Look at Denver's roster. They started out slow after that first initial victory. They found something, and it's been clicking. Murray was playing inspired basketball. George Floyd on one side, Breonna Taylor on the other. Now, you got critics and cynics and hypocrites who are going to say whatever the hell they want to say. You know what they won't argue with? That a police officer had his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. We expect better from civil servants, just like airplane, flight attendants and, pilots. You just can't crash all the time. We expect better. And as far as Breonna Taylor, they don't want to talk about it because she actually is an innocent victim. It goes against the narrative. With that said, to have an inspired 50 points to just put the Denver Nuggets on your back and take them to a game 7 when you're down 3-1, we can see something. Denver provides better smoke against the Clippers than the Utah Jazz. Denver can't be special with the pieces that they have. They just got Harris back. Grant off the bench gave them double-digit points. The Joker is the Joker. He only needed to contribute 20 because Murray was on fire. Bro, he went, I believe, 13 of 20. He went 17 of 20, 9 of 12 from the 3. What? Battling Donovan Mitchell, who leads all scorers in the first round with about 38 points a game. So Murray's special. But what's better than that was his message. Things got to get better. We're 2020 and we're still talking about this garbage. All right? Grown-ass man, I still got to deal with ignorance, racial inequality, and dog whistles from people in power. We're better than this. The whole world's laughing at us. USA, do better.
I understand where you're coming from 100%. Eric Wilson, I'm going to swing it to you. What did you feel of the message of Jamal Murray after dropping 50 on that win against Utah?
He kept the message going, which is what they went into the bubble to do, as well as play their game. I think the biggest piece from this is what we're seeing from a lot of athletes right now, and it's not just the NBA. I think it's across all major league sports, is that people are keeping the message alive. They're keeping the message going. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what nationality, what background, race, color, gender. The conversation is still very much a key focal point. And as much as I respect what these players say, as long as they stand behind what they say, but they also follow it up with some type of action, meaning you can talk all you want to. People are going to have their opinions and people are going to listen. But it's what you do, it's your action that is going to dictate how people not only remember you, but how people view you. So I hope that with all the talking that was done, there is come behind it, there is some action so that we can say, okay, he said what he meant and he meant what he said.
Absolutely. I feel like the NBA players are understanding that their platform is not only for them to play basketball, for them to actually make an impact with this Black Lives Matter movement. And I pray for them to continue to make an impact on the world and for them to continue to knock on the doors of justice and that people can make a change on what's going on in this world. We're going to leave it there and move on to the next subject. Eric, I know you don't want to talk about your Philadelphia Eagles.
Wait. When did I say I didn't want to talk about my Philadelphia Eagles? I always love talking about my Eagles. I never get to, but I love talking about them.
All right, so Eric Wilson, we're going to start with you. How do you feel about this soft tissue injury with Carson Wentz, and what does that dictate for the rest of your season before it even started?
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen of the sports arena who are tuning in currently this evening, I want to say thank you first and foremost, because very rarely do we get to talk about one of the things that I love the most. You know how it is. It's my mother, my family, my wife, and of course, my Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm going to have to get a little loose on this one because, see, y'all want to start talking about something, and I did this to pay homage, but now that we get into the nitty-gritty of the facts, so let's talk about Philadelphia for a minute. All right? The fact of the matter is this. We know that Carson Wentz has a lower body injury. And currently, the brother is listed as day-to-day. Okay, I get that. But see, that's only one side of it. Because what people aren't talking about, let me clue some of y'all in here who like to keep hating on my team. First and foremost, I'll be the first one to call out the fact that Derek Barnett and Javon Hargraves still haven't been on the practice field yet. One has a lower body injury, one has an upper body injury. Then you've got, as someone very close, near and dear to my heart says, my friend Miles has not practiced for a couple of weeks, Miles Sanders, but he's still there learning the playbook. Now, the big question mark of this whole entire season, in my opinion, Alshon Jeffrey. He still is on the physically unable to perform list. So you mean to tell me, and this is where I get upset with Philly. So you mean to tell me all the options that we could possibly have at wide receiver and we still got Alshon on the field? What? Huh? Alshon Jeffrey ain't been Alshon since Super Bowl. That's 3 years almost. Come on, people. Let's get it together. Let's say, wake up. Let's get it together. Now, since y'all want to dog my quarterback, Miss Ruth the Truth, because you are a Dallas Cowboy fan. I see you over there. And, of course, Mr. Alex Fleming, who waits for every single opportunity to throw a shot at me when it comes to, as he calls him, Mr. Glass. Let me tell y'all about Carson. Carson is one of the most durable quarterbacks in the NFL. And if y'all think otherwise, I challenge any and everybody. Because through everything that he's been through since his rookie season, this man has stood up and stood proud and fought and proved all y'all haters wrong. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, since Carson's come into the league, the Philadelphia Eagles not only have won the Super Bowl, but they've won the division. They've beaten Dallas when Dallas had an easy road to beat us. Yeah, I'm going to throw that in there. And at the end of the day, whether he was on the field for Super Bowl 52 or not, he was still a part of the team and was, in fact, one of the primary reasons why we were in the position that we were in. So, say what you want about Carson, the fact that the man is listed as day-to-day, but guarantee you this, there is nobody, and I mean nobody, that I want under center right now more than that man. He will be fine. He will be back. And guess what? When this is all said and done and all that smoke, guess who's still going to be on top of the NFC East? Yeah, that'll be the Philadelphia Eagles.
I highly doubt that, but I'm going to swing it to Alex Fleming. I want to know your take. If Carson Wentz is not able to perform for the Philadelphia Eagles,
he will.
And if he's not,
wow, this hurts because Eric Wilson is a friend of mine. This is going to hurt.
It's football season.
Okay, all right. So let's keep it real.
Yes,
you lost your guard. You've lost your tackle. Jason Peters wants to get paid more money for switching over to right tackle. You've already mentioned that Barnett and Hargroves is not practicing, and they need all the practice they can get.
Oh, Lord.
Carson Wentz, the man that transforms into a hospital bed, gets hurt in practice, and then Jalen Hurts, when he comes in, throws an interception that gets Jalen Reagor hurt. Like, the Eagles are like a bad Simpsons episode. You tune in to try to be happy and laugh, and you end up crying. And don't get me started on your secondary. Please don't get me started on your secondary. You had to give up money and picks for Darius Slay because your secondary was Vanessa Del Rio trash. Okay? And by the way, you won that division last year, and we even called, and we agreed, you were the NFC least. The NFC East had one representative, and you got bounced. Derrick Henry has more touchdown passes in the playoffs than Carson Wentz. Why? Because Nick Foles took them to the Super Bowl, not Carson Wentz. And last year, he bumped out, decided not to play because I think he broke a fingernail and got beat by the Seattle Seahawks. This team is ready to just get supplanted by the New York Giants, who just picked up Logan Ryan, by the way. You got issues on the offensive line. You got issues on the defensive line. Don't get me started again on your secondary. Alshon Jeffrey is the least of your worries because now Reagor's hurt. Is Deshaun Jackson still got the same wheels? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's being punished for things he said off the field. And you guys probably should be in the Leonard Fournette sweepstakes because Miles Sanders doesn't know the damn playbook.
Yes, he does. Hold on.
It's always sunny in
Philadelphia. I'm going to take it to you.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Except for Eric Wilson. Eric, give me your final thoughts on your team and what's going on this offseason. What do you see in training camp? I want to know.
This coming from a Chicago-based Tampa transplant known as Alex Fleming wants to sit up here and try and dictate to me what my team's going to do. First off, unless you're one of the 4 teams in my division, 3 other teams that are below me, don't speak on my team. Okay, let me say that right now, first and foremost. Number 2, don't you ever in your mouth formulate your lips to spew such nonsense about my quarterback when my quarterback has done more than Mitchell Trubisky has done, your quarterback. Oh, and up until this year, who was your quarterback for Tampa Bay? Jameis Winston? Yeah, Mr. 30 for 30. Look at y'all. Got me spitting up in the middle of the show here. I'm telling you right now, make no
You think
mistake
somebody's a
about
little
it.
bit sensitive right now?
Make no mistake about this, my brother, and please understand
he's
where I'm
hurt.
coming from. It is football season. You know what that means?
hurt.
That means it's going to get loud, it's going to get rowdy, and at the end of the day, as I said to you before, when the dust settles and the smoke clears, if Dallas could, which they're not going to, find a way to get out of their own way, they would actually be the odds-on favorite. But because they can't even pay their $2 million quarterback. They had to franchise tag him just so he would stay. I said this once, I'll say it again. Dak, get your money and get the hell on. Now, you want to start bringing in New York because New York brought in somebody. Hold up, let me say this really quick. Because New York brought in somebody. Guess what? Daniel Jones, you can keep throwing Danny dimes. He's going to go from dimes to sixes. That's what he's throwing. He's going to be throwing interceptions. Now, Saquon is my boy. That's my love. I got him. Penn State all day, every day. Brother can run over some people. And I hate when we have to play him twice a year. But that being said, the Giants still ain't got it. And we're not even getting started on the Washington football team. I wish Ron Rivera nothing but the best, but I pray for that, brother. So at the end of the day, guess what? It's all on us. It's ours to win. It's ours to lose. And at the end of the day, we are taking control of what is rightfully ours. That is the NFC East.
No. I'm sorry.
I think week 7, Jalen Hurts takes over the quarterback position.
What?
Say that again, Eric. I want to hear you.
I said, I think week 7, Jalen Hurts takes over the quarterback position because, Mr. Glass, he can't be taking hits. If he got hurt in practice, imagine if he's facing some teams that actually don't have love for him. I mean, his teammates already don't have love for him. Imagine the other team. Jalen Hurts is healthy.
What
He's
are you
young.
on right now?
There's a reason why you draft a quarterback in the 2nd round. I'm not saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right.
All right, so the NFL season is popping off in the next coming weeks. Gentlemen, I hope you are ready to see what our teams are going to make of us. The Dallas Cowboys are taking the division. I'm sorry, Eric, but
No, they're not.
If
you can listen, Ruth, the truth, you know what? You can spit that truth because if you got out of your own way, if the Dallas Cowboys got out of their own way, yes. As much as it pains me to say it, I have to be a realist. If Dallas could get out of their own way, yes, they would win the division.
It's COVID season. Changes
you should
about to
ask
happen.
if they got their CDL license.
CD about a seed in playoffs. That's all I got to say.
CD Lamb, CDL license.
It's about a seed in playoffs. Thank you so much for joining us at the Sports Arena. We are going to wrap it up for tonight on their Monday night segment. I have Eric Wilson, the main producer of Sports Arena, and Alex Fleming with Turf Talk. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Ruth Kakias with Sports Truth. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.